There's a question so simple a child could ask it, yet so profound it can shatter the very foundation of everything you think you know about yourself. Who am I? 3 words, 1 question, the end of all searching. Right now, as you listen to these words, something is aware, something is present, something knows that you exist. But what is that something? Most of us live our entire lives without ever truly asking this question. We assume we know. We point to our body, our thoughts, our memories, our roles, our achievements. But Ramana Maharshi, the great sage of Arunachala, discovered something extraordinary when he was just 16 years old. Something that changed not just his life, but our understanding of what it means to be human. Today, we're going to dive deep into this ancient practice of self-inquiry to understand, step by step, how to recognize the difference between what you think you are and what you actually are, and how this recognition can end the very source of all psychological suffering. Picture a wave on the ocean. Convinced it's separate from the water, it spends its entire existence trying to become bigger, more beautiful, more permanent. It fears other waves, competes with them, desperately tries to maintain its form. But what if someone gently whispered to the wave, "Look deeper. What are you made of?" In that moment of investigation, the wave would discover it was never separate from the ocean at all. This is what happened to Ramana. Faced with the fear of death, he didn't run from it. He investigated it. He asked, "Who dies?" And in that questioning, he found something that had never been born and could never die. With the arising of the ego, everything else arises, and with its subsiding, everything else subsides. Therefore, to destroy the ego through self-investigation is true renunciation. But what exactly is this ego that Ramana speaks of? It's not some evil entity to be fought. It's simply a case of mistaken identity. Like a person who forgets their real name and becomes convinced they're someone else, we've forgotten our true nature and become identified with a collection of thoughts, sensations, and stories. The beauty of self-inquiry is its radical simplicity. You don't need to believe anything. You don't need to adopt any philosophy or religion. You don't need to sit in any particular position or breathe in any special way. You simply ask, "Who am I?" and trace the I back to its source. But here's where most people stumble. They answer too quickly. "I am John. I am a teacher. I am sad. I am anxious." Ramana would say, "Stop. Look closer. Who knows that you are John? Who is aware that you are a teacher? Who recognizes the sadness? Let's try this together now. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Take a breath. Now, notice that you exist. Something right now knows I am. Don't think about it. Just notice this simple fact of being aware. Now ask, who am I? Whatever answer comes up. I am a person. I am my thoughts. I am this body. Ask again, who knows this? Who is aware of being a person? Who is aware of having thoughts? Who is aware of this body? Keep going deeper. Don't accept any object as the final answer. Everything you can be aware of cannot be what you truly are, because you are the awareness of it. Pause here. Breathe. Stay with this investigation. What you might discover, if you're sincere in this questioning, is something Ramana pointed to throughout his entire life. The I you're looking for cannot be found as an object. It's not a thing among other things. It's the very awareness in which all things appear. Through self-investigation, one attains in the heart the awareness of the self, or the I, which reveals itself as the perfect being, and as a consequence, the ego is lost. In our daily lives, we can apply this inquiry moment by moment. When anxiety arises, instead of trying to fix it or understand why it's there, ask, who is anxious? When anger appears, ask, who is angry? When joy comes, ask, who is joyful? This isn't about getting rid of emotions or experiences. It's about discovering the unchanging awareness that witnesses all of them. Modern neuroscience is beginning to confirm what mystics have known for millennia, that there's a fundamental awareness that remains constant, even as our thoughts, emotions, and sensations continuously change. The practice becomes a way of living. In traffic, when frustration builds, who is frustrated? During a difficult conversation, who feels challenged? In moments of happiness, who enjoys this? Each time, we're invited back to the source, back to what we actually are, beneath all the temporary experiences. But Ramana warns us not to get caught up in any particular experience along the way. Visions, special states, feelings of bliss or emptiness, these are all just more objects appearing in awareness. The question remains, who is aware of even these experiences? You must have been there to be able to say that you experienced a void. Remaining fixed in this you from beginning to end is the real search. The ego, Ramana discovered, is like a knot, a tangle of thoughts, sensations, and identifications that seems solid, but actually has no substance when investigated closely. As we persistently ask, who am I? This knot begins to loosen, not through force or struggle, but through the gentle, consistent light of inquiry. What emerges isn't a new identity or a special state. It's the recognition of what has always been present, the aware presence that you are. It's closer than your breath, more intimate than your thoughts, more constant than your heartbeat. It's what's reading these words right now. Think about it. Have you ever not been aware? In deep sleep, awareness is still there. How else would you know you slept well? In every moment of your life, this awareness has been the constant, unchanging background against which all experiences come and go. The wave discovers it's the ocean. The individual drops, realizes it's the entire lake. The person awakens to their true nature as infinite awareness itself. The consciousness that perceives the void is the real self. Perseveringly continue the investigation. Who am I? Here's perhaps the most radical part. Ramana discovered that this awareness isn't personal. It doesn't belong to you. You are it. It's not contained within the boundaries of your body or limited by your lifetime. It's the same awareness, looking out through every pair of eyes, thinking every thought, feeling every feeling. The same awareness that's present in you right now is present in everyone you meet. This recognition naturally dissolves the barriers between self and other, between inside and outside, not as a belief or philosophy, but as a living reality. When you truly see what you are, separation becomes impossible, not because everything becomes one, but because you realize there was never actually two in the first place. As we practice this inquiry, we might notice resistance. The mind offers 1,000 distractions, urgent thoughts, important problems to solve. Ramana's guidance is simple. For whom do these thoughts arise? The answer is always for me. Then, who am I? And we're back to the source. No matter how many thoughts may arise, to each one should inquire promptly, to whom did this thought arise? The answer would be, to me. Immediately thereafter, ask the question, who am I? Then the mind returns to its source, and the thought subsides. What we discover through this practice isn't a new state of consciousness or an altered experience. It's the recognition of what's already here, already present, already what we are. It's like a person who has been carrying a torch while searching for light, suddenly realizing the light was in their hand all along. This doesn't mean we stop being human or functioning in the world. We still respond to situations, feel emotions, make decisions, but there's a fundamental shift in identity from being the wave to being the ocean that plays at being a wave, from being the character in the dream to being the awareness in which the dream appears. The implications are profound. Fear of death dissolves when you realize what you truly are was never born. Anxiety about the future calms when you recognize the timeless presence that you are. Depression lifts when you see that no temporary experience can touch your essential nature. But Ramana always emphasized this isn't a belief system or philosophy to adopt. It's an investigation to undertake. Analyze your entire personality. Discover where the thought I begins. Continue the meditations. Fix your attention on the innermost self. As you go about your day to day, try carrying this question with you like a gentle companion, not as a mental exercise or something to figure out, but as a returning home to what you actually are. In quiet moments, ask it. In busy moments, ask it. In difficult moments, especially ask it. What you might discover is that the seeker and the sought were never two. The one who asks, who am I? And the one who answers are the same awareness, playing at being separate, like a person who pretends to lose themselves in a game of hide and seek. When you attain the knowledge of your own self, there will remain no concept about the world. In this recognition, the search ends, not because you found something new, but because you've remembered what you never actually lost. The question, who am I, reveals its own answer in the very asking. You are the awareness that questions. You are the presence that knows. You are the being that simply is. Rest here, in this knowing, in this being, in this awareness that you are. Let the question dissolve into the silence from which it arose. Let the seeker rest in the self that was never hidden. This is Ramana's gift to us. Not a teaching to understand, but a recognition to embody. Not a path to travel, but a home to return to. Not something to become, but what we already are. Take a moment now. Close your eyes. Ask the question one more time, not with your mind, but with your entire being. Who am I? And then simply listen to the silence that answers. If this inquiry has touched something deep within you, if you feel drawn to explore further into the mystery of what you are, consider joining our contemplative community. Share in the comments what arises when you sincerely ask, who am I? Your insight might be the very pointer someone else needs to hear. Until we meet again in the silence that we are, rest in the knowing that has no knower. Be the awareness that needs no validation. You are already what you seek.